Yeah, man. And uno see people a make video documentaries and them a put on YouTube them days, yeah. You know, and these are people who never even know the truth of the suffering of my brethrens them, all right? And now that most of them dead and gone, you see them a release certain video documentary what them things say them know about certain situation, but what I and I Rascado know and the Trench Town people from them times they know whole heap of us who are still around and know the truth from the beginning. See the lies what them a tell and what them a talk about. Now in this video, yeah, Bob Marley's story, a Spanish substitute them call it. You go see certain people, you go see, of course, you see Bob and Peter them, and I play the music. And all of them music here is music what we rehearse over and over and over again, many times in a Trench Town, even before it went to studio. All right? Long before them song here even went to studio. And now most of them song here has been stolen as Bonnie has written Wailers trilogy, murder, robbery, conspiracy, where him show how this man here, Chris Blackwell, a man where use the term our Peter Touch describe him, Chris Whiteworth, stole the music, all right? You will see this man attack, I said certain things. And recently, there was a book, I think, when him published. All right. I mean, New York Times writers wrote it, Ben Cesario and Daniel Wise, in the New York Times. I mean, it's a Chris Blackwell. His music's quietest record, man. And that his artist speak loudly. Now, keep in mind, this was a man, you know, who grew up in a Jamaica from the slave plantation owners. One of the slave plantation owners. All right? And him get to know certain things by just being there around black people. And now him a write book like say, him was a very calm man and a very amicable man to the Wailers, but that's not true because him was the one that enticed Bob Marley to leave Trench Town and go live up a 56 Hope Road, which was Feme Place, and is up there. So Bob Marley's sufferings really began. I mean, you know, and them now going to tell you this side of the story because this don't help them cause, all right? But now that them man they pass out, them man they gone, Bunny passed out last year, 2021, all right? But there are many of us who still know what gone. This was the man that made several comments. Whole heap of comments, even to them writers, yeah. I mean, Daniel Wise and Ben Cesario. Yeah, man. Him, I make things look like, said, him was caring towards us. Him was sympathetic towards us. And that wasn't true because this was a man that started out after him see us in a 1973, as him say. Him did say, he did say that we were not human beings, basically. We had a bad reputation and we were known as rebels, and that people were telling him not to trust us. But anyway, he did through some a few UK pounds, you know, at them for make an album. And my brethren's them, Bob, Peter and Bunny, did make the album and give to him. Yeah, man. And him, because of that, became super wealthy and famous. And then him change, him intrigue Bob. Intrigue Bob. Bait Bob. Bob left Trenchtown and him and Coxon work pan Bob. At them time, Bob just basically wanted to sing, all right? And there's a story where my brethren, them, Bob and the whole of them, leave with I. And other Trenchtown people who are still around and can back up what me I say, all right? Them mania was the reason for split up Bob, Peter, and Bonnie. All right? Because when them go over there in England, go visit him, all right, after him entice a girl, one name a woman, one name Esther Anderson, for come beat Bob, all right? And of course, Bob went over there, entice Bonnie and Peter, because them things that Bob was just sticking to the togetherness, the code of togetherness. One Wailers, triumphant Wailers, 3 men grew up together in a Trenchtown. The love is there, the loyalty is there, the trust is there. But oh no, it wasn't there, because Bob was intrigued and conned and baited and was switched out, dividing them, all right? So much so that Bonnie, after them come back, boy, me I tell you, the sufferings them what them tell us that them endured over there, especially Peter. And Peter spoke the truth. Peter spoke many truth, but it's them people here who work behind the scenes for bring you down. Because when them see you I speak the truth, Peter them and Bonnie them, we found out how them was arranging things with them and Coxon. I sell out the music, send it to overseas, I make money, and yet still not pay the man them nothing. Because as much as people will think Bob music I sell today, it's not owned by the Marley family, because them take that way from them too. And Rita was a part of that. What Bonnie wrote about was true. All right, definitely true in Wailers trilogy. And we have the information, we have the testimonials, we have it. We in a Trenchtown have it. And you're going to see this man Blackwell and saying what he said best. I try to look like say him was a honest and caring man to artists, not to the Trenchtown ghetto man them. No, not to the Trenchtown ghetto man them. Him wasn't like that. Him was never that. And even then, he must say, I grew up amongst black people. I spent more time with black people than with white people because I was an only child and I was sick. They were the staff, the black people. They were the gardeners, the grooms. But I got to care a lot about them and got to recognize very early how different their life was from mine. All right? And then this man, him say, he was really trying to uplift the artists. Uplift which artists? Which artists them he was trying to uplift? He wasn't trying to uplift Bob, Peter, and Bonnie. No man who gave their greatest efforts to him, trusted him, hoping that he would do well by them, and he never did. All right? He never did. And this man rose to enormous wealth and notoriety because of Reggae Wailers music. And don't forget, you know, I have the copyright for creating reggae. So anybody I use reggae and I talk about reggae and I sing reggae and I play my creation. So him and the music industry and all of them can worry about that now because me have it under my control, copyrighted. A reggae education, reggae origin of the word and incorporation into music, Scott's official history of reggae, the original Wailers, and the Trenchtown experience. Look what me I go show no pan this video here, alright? And I go interrupt it at every point to show no whether mania I tell lie or if them I tell truth or if them I tell half truth. Watch this. There is Bob, Peter, and Bonnie.
Well, reggae music is a music created by Rasta people, and it carry earth force of people rhythm, like people, it's a rhythm where people are working, people moving, Well, we play music, and we don't play for suit critics. We play what we want to play, when we want to play it, how we want to play it, and we have a reason why we play it.
When you see Bob in a them video, yeah, Bob was grown a man then, but you never see the part where him was in Trenchtown with us, which is what we have, all right? We have that part there, and you can never hear nobody in the music business where I go try, and I mean try to tell you no, like them know about Bob Marley, and them know about us. Them never know about us, because them never care to know about us. So them never know about us. Bob never know certain people until him was enticed and intrigued, as them call it, and beat and switched out of Trenchtown and start living up a 56 Hope Road, all right, which was owned by Chris Blackwell, all right, and is up there. He meet certain people and them get for work upon him, because none of them come in a Trenchtown would a dare for come in a Trenchtown come work by any one of them. So Bob wanted to sing, and all right, him just wanted to sing, and him never ever know how them was beating him, but he went to live at 56 Hope Road, and everything that happened there, so splitting up of him, Bonnie and Peter, took place at 56 Hope Road when him up there, all right? So when you see him meet all Miss World and all them girls there up there and him have picnic with them, up there all of the wranglings took place, all right? Up there, so, because it never take place in that Trenchtown. Keep watching this. Right, and when I tell them the reason yet.
The local recording industry was highly competitive, full of ambitious and talented vocal groups, of which the Wailers were just one. But they had enjoyed the advantage of being backed by some of the most revered instrumentalists in the history of Jamaican music, like the Scatterlights.
Notice the way them shifted. All right, you notice how them shifted. Now them a show Scatterlights during the days of ska and rocksteady. And all of them man that did live in our area, Yeah, man. Keep watching this. Keep watching.
This particular brand of ska music had been influenced by American jazz.
See, and that's a lie. Ska was not influenced by American jazz. All right? America never have nothing to do with ska. America never have nothing to do with rocksteady. America never have nothing to do about the reggae music. All right? Never. It never have no connections to America. But them like for make everything bend towards America. That's a lie. That's not true. And nobody go really want to talk to us who come out of Trenchtown who are still around. Them not gonna do that because them afraid. Them no want people know the truth. But keep watching.
However, for all Jamaican artists at that time, making music was one thing, getting properly paid for it quite another.
Very true. Making music was one thing, but none of them was being paid. None of them money, I know, for their life's work, you know, and their music catalog, you know. And Trenchtown, we know all of the music. There is no music Bob, Peter, Bunny sing, or anybody Wailing Soul sing that we don't know about from a longer time, from the rehearsal days, because I and I Cardo, Junior Braithwaite and others, Cherry and the whole away, used to rehearse with them. All right, some of them went to studio with them. I have been to studio a couple times, but I knew everything that went on before, during studio time, and after them even come back from studio. Even when sometimes I did at school and I didn't even go to studio with them. All right, but we know because them come right back to Trenchtown and tell us how everything worked out for that day, for that studio time. So watch, keep watching.
The producers weren't paying the artists the justice that was due them, and a lot of people couldn't take that. They got frustrated and backed out of it. A lot of them. The Wailers didn't. The Wailers decided that no frustration ain't gonna stop the Wailers. So we took frustration as an inspiration to write songs to get us out of the frustrations.
Yeah, you see, that's a nice time. Long time we don't have no nice time. Who do you do, yeah? Think about that. Do you think about that? So we don't have no nice time. During them time, they, you know how much time they sang rehearsed at Trenchtown before it goes studio. But Bunny, I say, it's true. And I don't know if the world ever read Bunny's trilogy, you know. The Wailers trilogy. Murder, robbery, conspiracy, where him write and show the world how the switching of the music took place with Chris Blackwell and Cox and them, and how them send the record them overseas, sell it and not give them money and nothing. Keep watching.
The Kingston music business was not sympathetic to rebellious young musicians in the late 60s, especially not the
rebellious. None of the musicians them was rebellious. None of them. Wailers definitely, them Wailers man, yeah, were the most amicable, loving, caring man them. No rebellion come from them. That's a lie right there, sir. That's a big lie. None of the man them, in them suffering, was rebellious. Unless you try for I scam them and I scheme them and them figure say you thief them music. All right, and that was one of the main reasons why Peter and Bunny got so angry about how they were being treated, ostracized, disdained, denigrated by the same man them, where them a try make music, hoping that them will get paid for the music what them are sing, and they never did. All of them died in the poverty that they know.
those like Bob Marley and the Wailers, who were both Rastafarians and rude boys.
This is my heart.
I want only listen to certain things, you know, because you see, music business was one side of it, but when Rasta started singing reggae music after my creation in a 62, and we changed it over, and the messengers of Rastafari and Bob them start singing Rasta type music, which is reggae music. The man them never liked that because Blackwell and Fame friend them, Fame cronies, Coxon and all, and all of the record producer them, Lee Perry them and all that, decide said them a go thief them music and them never want Rasta for sing reggae music. They never, even to this day, I Rascado I tell you no. That's why them kill off the Rasta man them. That's why the Rasta man them in Jamaica, the elders them, even to this day, because them claim say Rasta man singing reggae music was preventing reggae music from crossing over. Crossing over into what? Crossing over into for them controlling. That's what them wanted. You see, I saw the American music industry set up them scams and them schemes with the man them from England, them cohorts and them collude and them combine and them scheme and scam in order for rape the ghetto youths them. Understand it, you know. Them man ya come out of suffering and I try sing them way out of the suffering. And a pure robbery and death them get. Pure robbery and death. Listen.
Recording studios, pressing plants, and even radio stations were in the hands of people who didn't want to give Rastas and Rudies any kind of platform. But the Wailers were desperate for airplay and took matters into their own hands.
It was a kind of a struggle. And if a guy shut the door in your face, you gotta find a way to open that door. You know, so sometimes people get roughed up. You know, because you're trying to stop something that is progressive and you don't have a reason to. Why are you trying to hold down the Wailers music? You can't say why. Why do you play other people's music but you don't want to play the Wailers music? You don't say why. Well, we're going to tell you to play it. Or you ain't going to work to play nothing. So if you're going to work, remember, you're going to play the Wailers. Or when we're going to meet you coming out of work. And we're going to make sure you don't go back to work unless you play the Wailers. Whether we meant it or not, that's how we got some radio play.
Yeah, and Bunny was speaking a lot of truth, you know. But him put it in a very nice way. Peter Touch would have never say it like that. But you have whole heap of producers them in Jamaica, like you have Caxel. You have even Prime Minister Edward Seaga. And you have Pottinger. You have Miss Lynn. You have Leslie Kang. And you have all of them man they I work with Duke Reed, Caxel, the whole of them. I mean, you know, a scheme the ghetto youths them. All of them singers there was from the ghetto. Poor youth them. I try sing them way into making a decent living for themselves. And yet, a pure robbery did that take place and scheming at the music. Even some of them used to work in a Lee Perry studio, in a Caxton studio. I press them own record. I never know say them a press them own record where I go overseas go sell and the man them nah give them no money. And when the man them do give them like a chicken feed money, boy, a man they complain and I go on like say, it's like a enslavement. It was a scheme set up by the producers them. And them loophole lawyers they scheme the youths them even to this striking day. That's why me I tell the youths them say, una must own una works. Before una go studio, make sure say una copyright, trademark una image and likeness una works. Own it, register it, and make sure una have the paperwork, and make sure say una family know. Watch this, keep watching this.
Superstar, Mr. Music, Bob Marley. Yes, my friend, we're in the streets again.
Them don't even know, you know, when Bob sings certain things, why am I talk about, you know. Every one of them song, yeah, have a relationship to the situation as it existed in those times, all right? I mean, I go translate them too, no, because we have the translation and we know why these music, we know the history behind the music. Then one time, I say VH1, I talk about behind the music, Peter Tosh and all that. And you have man like Roger Stephens and all that, who call himself a Bob Marley historian, who is a collector of music memorabilia, including I and I reggae type music from anybody who sing and play reggae. I mean, you know, I know me have the copyrights them. You can't see or hear nothing from them. Them I try to figure out how come me did have reggae creation copyrights and them never know about it, because them not supposed to know about it, because we know them scam and scheme and rob our works. And you are going to see him come up now this too. Keep watching Dopey Conqueror. Even when Bob sing, guiltiness rest on their conscience. Oh yeah, and they live a life of false pretense every day. These are the big fish who always try to eat up the small fish. You know who I talk about? Who you think him I talk about? Well, me not tell you no. Alright, me not tell you no yet.
Yes, my friend, and set me free again.
Despite their tough guy tactics, or because of them, the Wailers weren't getting the exposure they wanted. Bob was now 25. He badly needed a new sound and a new direction for his music. He found both with Lee Scratch Perry, a maverick producer who was to change the style of
Yeah, and them I talk about Lee Scratch Perry. Lee Scratch Perry just joined the group of robbers and thieves who stole Wailers music, ship it overseas, sell it, and not get them on them nothing. Alright? All the mania thief, robbers, and murderers. The whole of them. Every one of them. Alright?
on his music with collaborations like Dumpy Conqueror.
And them call him Maverick Producer. Maverick Producer. Oh yes. Maverick Producer. Maverick Producer.
Deeper was a nutty professor. He got a different side of Bob that was.
And what Rita talk about, Anan says, no even listen to Rita, because Rita never live in a trench town. First of all, let's trace where Rita come from. She come from Cuba. She used to come and go in a trench town, and she become a part of the crew, for them crew, for help entice Bob and rob Bob and get close to Bob and see how Bob think about situation. But them never know the side of us in a trench town who know who Bob share certain thing with that him not share with them.
Happy and humorous. He had that charisma that makes the rhythm sticky. And
she don't know what she a talk about. Charisma. Lee Perry upset her of charisma in her music. Nonsense.
catchy and nice. And so Bob used that as something, as a compliment to him.
Bob just wanted to make music, alright? Here's a white-skinned white boy, alright, who came into Trenchtown. Me and Braithwaite and the brethren them and sisters them, our family, protected him, kept him safe. Not never happened to Bob in a Trenchtown, you know. No shoot up never took place of Bob in a Trenchtown. It took place when him move and him start live up a 56 Hope Road. Up there them shoot up the place, try to kill him because him